checking to make sure it's going. Okay, it is. Sweet. Okay, guys, so this is JackPS9 here. Long time no see. So I've been doing a couple things. Well, besides being a stay-at-home dad. So got back into colony survival modding a bit. That's actually going nicely. So one thing I've been working on is a new API because I've stepped away from Colony++ because the other developer has stopped modding basically altogether. So over the last week I made a new API called NewColonyAPI, and the mod I'm also going to be working on is called Rise of the New Colonies. Okay? What this video is about is how to use NewColonyAPI, okay? So the way I go about this, because I just find this to be the easiest way, is open up any folder basically you want or create one. Call it whatever the heck you want to call your mod. Okay. Right click, go down to new, text document, delete everything including the .txt, right? We'll just call this mod entry.cs because we are coding in C# and CS would be for C#. Okay, yes, we want to change the name. Okay, now go to your Visual Studio, go to File, New, Project from Existing Code. Okay, we want our type to be a Visual C# type. Okay, we are going to copy where our files are. In my case, it's in my OneDrive documents, Colony Survival Example Mod. We will call this Example Mod. And we need it to be a type class library, okay? Then we just hit finish. No, I just hit example. Whatever. It works. Okay. So, first of all, we need to add some references. All the references I use are assembly C#.dll, Unity engine.ui.dll, new colony, the API provider, the Unity engine.dll, and what is base game? Oh, right. I use that for a couple things as well. Okay. Now, if anyone's wondering how you locate this, okay, open up Steam. We're find Colony Survival, right click, Properties, Local Files, Browse Local Files, okay? That's the easiest way. For those at least who do not actually know how to navigate all the way through their program files and everything else, because I will, as you guys can see, it's under like C drive, program files, 86, Steam, Steam apps, common, and then Colony Survival, okay? Okay, so here we go. Actually, I'll do it this way because this way will be easier. Okay. So the assembly C#, Unity Engine UI, and Unity Engine, okay. If you open in the Colony Survival folder, open Colony Server _data managed, it's all right there. Okay. If you put those wherever you want. Okay, as for the base game and API provider, those are under game data, mods, piplas, API provider, API provider.dll, and then base game is also under base game and it's base game.dll. The one you are going to have to download, guaranteed, is I think I actually have everything currently finished for it. So I will actually be pushing out a version 1 release today, probably along with this video. But yeah, it's just under Jack PS9 and then NewColonyAPI. It comes with Harmony or Zero Harmony because I need that in order for the API part of the API to run if you so wish to use that feature or section of features at least. Okay. So let's get all those finished. You do not need zeroharmony.dll. Okay? If you want to use it, you can. You have to go and download that yourself, but not required whatsoever. That's just for injecting code into the base game because of the way that I'm doing a couple things in the API. Okay. Hit OK. Yay, okay. Those are all loaded in now. Why is it complaining at me? One second. Oh, okay. Nope. Crap. Yeah, I just actually figured out why it was whining because I didn't click on the name, so example, which I apparently didn't even spell properly. For me, it's EX Maple. Yeah, whatever. Okay, and then basically, hold on, I'll show you guys. So right click on that, properties. Believe you can also go to project and then down to the bottom. Yep. Then you want to change your target framework to be .NET Framework 3.5. See, and all that's working now. First of all, let's change that, and we'll call this example mod. Yay! Okay. So first things first, right, is what the heck do we want in this mod? Okay. If you guys want things like blocks and that, okay, because the API I actually made has auto loading for all of it, so you actually don't have to go through Zune/pipless code and auto register everything yourself, which is kind of nice. So if we want, we'll just call this classes. And then we want a thing called a test block. Okay. In order for this to work, okay, you are going to need Centric Games, NewColonyAPI, classes. Okay, so if you're making a chat command, you want to use the base chat command. If you're making a recipe, you want the base recipe. Magic job is for magical guards, so that you use a magic based system instead of using arrows or some type of ammo. Mod isn't actually finished yet, so you don't need to worry about that. Textures is for making textures, and types are for items and blocks. We need that. We also need API. We want the interface for type. Okay. So now, because of this section right there, it will auto load this block into the game for us instead of us having to call register for it. Although you can go public override. Actually, wait, no. Did I? Okay, maybe not. So we just need public test block. Okay. Why is? Oh right. Duh. Brain fart. And then you can just go this. Then you can do things like your box colliders, your colors, custom node data, destruction times, icons, that whether or not it's destructible, whether or not you can grow stuff on it, whether or not it's placeable, rotatable, solid. The item index you don't need to worry about because when it registers, it automatically pulls the next type for it as well, which is a nice little feature of my API. Max stack size. I don't think I actually have a automatic amount put in for that, although Zune probably does. So I'm not really going to worry about that, although I'll double check. A mesh, whether or not you want to mesh a name, which is a requirement for the autoloader to even work. Then it's like whether or not it has to be placed on another block. If it's a food item, if nutrition value, audio for being placed, removed, yada yada yada. Okay. Oh yeah, and then these are like the rotated versions of the block. The side all is what all the sides will look like text per texture, and then these are just the individual sides. If you want to texture each individual side individually. Weight, I have no actual idea what the heck the importance of that is. So, yay. But anyways, guys, that is how you can start at least a block in the game. But that's actually not even fully what I want to show you guys. The features I'm actually most happy about this API actually having, okay, is I need to actually load up the main file of what the code for the API. So the things that this, at least to me, the NewColony API provides that's really actually handy for you to use is under unassembly loaded, because if I take that out, okay, oops, yep, okay, hold on, we need to make a public static class. We'll call this mod entry. Okay, and then we'll go like that. We're also gonna need these static properties right here, at least for this version. Then we want to use using system.io, hold on, and we'll go using Fentrix Games API dot helpers as well. That way we can get rid of that. And we also are going to want Fentrix Games NewColony API and managers. Actually, no, we'll just go with NewColony API for that. That should actually allow me to put that through. Why is... Okay. What the... Okay, so apparently it's wanting to just be slate pane in the rear for some reason and force me to call the entire thing outright. which is, yeah, a little weird. Okay, as for jobs, we can... We're actually, that's actually not important. Section. This is what's important, okay? Go like this so it's easier to see. So, if you have localization in your mod, which realistically, if you have anything in your mod, you should have localization, okay? Thankfully, you just basically get a localization folder, okay? Which in my case, I first get my mod folder by going path.get directory name and then passing a path from onassembly load. And then I get the game data folder because of the structure I use. I have my, here, I'll just actually bring it up because here's my folder. See, Jack PS9, NewColonyAPI, then game data. Okay, this is actually where I keep everything. And then I just have my .dlls out here. I just find it easier to actually keep my stuff clean that way. This stuff, I just don't actually mind it being there, so I just leave it there. But yeah, I have my localization folder right here, okay? And then any folders you want to basically translate into, you just toss them there, okay? Okay, with that done, there is a localized section, okay? Which right now this actually isn't calling. But here's everything that it requires. Okay, callback. You don't actually need to have it like being Fentrix Games yada localize. It's whatever the heck you want it to be called, and then yeah, even just call it the name of the function. So in my case, it's localize. These two lines for the mod loader are 100% required, and to load the localization, wait a second, is that not? One second, guys. I think somehow my localize manager isn't public. Yeah, it's not public. Let's fix that really quick. Okay. Localization manager dot, and you want just localize with a capital L, okay? Pass the name of your mod. In my case, it's just, you know, example mod. And then we want to pass it the localization folder. That will go through every single localization you have and add it to the game, okay? One single line of code. Now, to show you guys the code basically for all this is all of this, okay? Over 100 lines of code is what I just saved you guys by introducing this because it's not built into the game right now. I've talked to Zune. It is actually planned to be built in. And I got this code from a modder called Pandoros. Actually, hold on, guys. Okay, sorry about that. cat was on top of a fish tank, so can't have that. Fish tank lid's already getting pretty broken up and battered. But yeah, so it's not currently built in. It's actually made by a guy called Pandoros. I've just changed some things up. So when you pass it this way, it'll be like, yeah, this mod, or it'll show like your mod name and that, and then it's loaded, adding localization for, and even show like the type, like the name types. I haven't actually hit these issues yet, so yeah, I've just kind of left them blanked out for it now. Okay. Localization section, done. Alright, yay. Now, another awesome thing that I actually enjoy, which I need to edit slightly, is if you use the utilities under helpers, okay, and then do create logs, and pass in your mod name, okay, just like that. When you, there it is. It'll give you an option when you create logs. So if we go utilities dot create logs, if you use the one that has a utilities log type, if you put an error in there, right? Actually, I think it's, yeah, if you put a type of error in there, it will actually go straight into my NewColonyAPI game data error log folder, and will just list all the errors that actually come up. Alright, so it's actually quite handy. Like in this, it's no NPC data found. In Rise of the Colonies, no errors yet because I haven't really started working on that much yet. Okay, so your options are, let's go like that, put in a message of some random message here, and we want utilities log type. Okay, so there's type error info, which comes up green, so if you want something specific to show up that you're actually trying to like log, or not log, but just check to see if it, like what, to make something stand out easier when you're like debugging it, like specifically that section, you can use info. Normal comes up white. I think issue is yellow, and error comes up red on the server console. So we'll just go like that. And we want chat style, I swear I set that thing to normal, or to default to normal. Actually, wait, nope, that was for a different thing. Yeah, that's all that's needed for that one. Although you can put in, what do I have the bool output? I'll have to try to remember that. Okay. And then lastly, if you have any, okay, because I think this automatically defaults to a settings folder if I remember right, kind of like this. Actually, I think it goes to game data and then settings. Nope, it's just whatever the heck you call it and then config.json. I'm pretty sure, at least. Oh, yeah, sorry, it goes to your mod name, game data settings, and then a config.json file. For mine, for registering, because I have it in Jack PS9 and then my mods, I have to go Jack PS9 / then my mod name, and then it'll load all the way up for me. And this basically just allows you to have things configured into it. Like here I have jobs in a rotating messaging system, and you can just, yeah, register that config at any point, which is handy. And then you can just pull that info. Alright, So hopefully you guys enjoyed this slight little tutorial on, oh wait, 1 second. Nope, there is still actually one thing I actually really want to show you guys, and that is the version checker. Okay, which is in after startup. Which is like one of the first things called. Yeah, okay, fine. I'll fix this. Picky game, man. Two-to-its protection? What? Well, whatever. That's not what I care about anyways. Just another thing I'm going to have to fix before I push out the API. So, under Fentrix Games, NewColonyAPI.managers.versionmanager.run version check, you pass the mod name. If you guys are starting to notice something, it's for like half the calls, you end up passing a mod name, and the reason for this being is so that way, like when it outputs any info, it'll actually have your mod name listed there, okay? So that's just the way it's set up. I'll probably end up having like NewColonyAPI besides like any error logs though. Just so that way like you can be like, okay, you know, it's not my, well, sometimes it'll be like on your end and sometimes it'll be on mine, but whatever. And then basically you want to pass it the version of that your mod currently is. In my case, it would be 0.1.0.0, which as you guys can see, you guys can do it through, I believe it's using system has version. Yeah, system. Okay. And then yeah, you just call public, or you just make it a public static. And then I'm just using GitHub with an MD file, a raw MD file, as you guys can see here, and I'm just pulling that info to pull up what version it is, like the newest and latest version. That way, if you guys open the server for a game, right, see NewColonyAPI up to date. That's showing that the mod is actually up to date, which is quite handy. Alright guys, so that is the basic features right now that the API has. If you guys have any questions, just ask. If there's any suggestions on other features, once again, just ask. Also, I have a Discord channel specifically for the API as well as Rise of the New Colonies. Okay? Have a nice day. Bye.